It is not possible to approach the mandate without expressing a grave concern for the present circumstances confronting the Palestinians subject to the occupation. The focus on Gaza is justified by the extremity of the occupation policies being pursued by Israel.
And the world at large boycotted apartheid South Africa, the twin of racist Israel. The current European football competition, co-hosted by Switzerland, rendered football the talk of the town, a talk blended with feelings of joy and frustration. Could you imagine, in contrast, our frustration for losing our homeland and living in captivity for several decades?
The occupation is characterized by illegal settlements, indiscriminate use of force, torture, closure of crossing, military incursions, artificial shortage of food and water, use of Palestinians as human shields, targeted killing, and large-scale demolition of infrastructure.
Representative of United Nations Watch.
Professor Falk, we appreciate this opportunity to ask you questions. As we gather to address the Middle East, let us all commit to a future where every child, Palestinian and Israeli alike, will see the promise of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights become reality. With this goal in mind, Professor Falk, let us turn to the report that you presented today, 7/17. The report criticizes the United Nations role in the Quartet and the Roadmap for Peace. It criticizes the United Nations Security Council and one of its permanent members in particular. It criticizes the Secretary General, suggesting in paragraph 53 that he may be refusing to fulfill legal obligations out of political reasons. Professor Falk, my first question to you is, by what methodology does one challenge some decisions while accepting others uncritically? Why are there no questions about today's agenda item targeting Israel, as expressed by Secretary General Ban Ki-moon on 20 June 2007, and I quote, "The Secretary General is disappointed at the Council's decision to single out only one specific regional item, given the range and scope of allegations of human rights violations throughout the world." Finally, in light of the concerns expressed by the President of this Council in the newspaper Le Temps and elsewhere about the credibility of this Council on the Middle East, could you tell us what credibility you expect your reports to have when leading newspapers such as the Times of London are commenting on your support for the 9/11 conspiracy theories of David Ray Griffin, who argues, and I quote from the Times article of April 15th, quote, that no plane hit the Pentagon and that, quote, the World Trade Center was brought down by a controlled demolition. Thank you, Mr. President.
I see the representative of Egypt raising a point of order. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I think any intervention that has nothing to do with the item should be deleted from the records of the meeting. The reference to September 11 is not part of the item. It's not part of the Palestinian issue. And I think it should be deleted from the records. Thank you.
Thank you. The floor goes to a representative of the International Commission for Jurists.
Thank you, Mr. President.